So in this clip we will try to learn homeostasis and the three conditions, the main conditions it maintains in our body. So first of all, what is homeostasis? Homeostasis basically is a process which maintains our internal body conditions. So what three internal body conditions it maintains? It maintains the level of water, level of our body temperature and glucose level, blood glucose level. So that process is very important to maintain our internal body conditions because all the biochemical reactions in our body only happens at the standard values of water, temperature and glucose level, especially of temperature. So first we start what is called osmoregulation. So osmoregulation is basically the regulation of water content, means the quantity of water in our blood. So it should be at a standard level, not too high, not too low. So that is controlled by ADH hormone, which is again released and produced by pituitary gland, master gland of our endocrine system, anti-diuretic hormone. So and kidneys are also involved in the osmoregulation process, in the regulation of water content in our blood. So what happens when there is too high water content? What can happen? That the high content of water will be absorbed by the body cells, and as a result the body cells can burst, can be damaged. So first of all we need to remember that how the ADH controls the level of water content in our body. So ADH basically controls the permeability of the membranes in our kidneys, nephrons. So permeability means it allows how much water can be reabsorbed. So less ADH means there should be less permeable membranes, means the membranes will allow less reabsorption. So less reabsorption means less blood will go back into the blood. Less water will go back into the blood after it has been absorbed by the kidneys. So when less water will be reabsorbed, then more water will go into the urine. So that's why too high level will end up with more urine, and that is because of the quantity of ADH. If we have too low content of water, less quantity of water, then our pituitary gland will release more ADH. So more ADH will make our nephron membranes, our reabsorbing membranes, more permeable, so which will allow more water to be reabsorbed by the blood. So when the more water which was going into the urine will be reabsorbed, so the more water is going back into the blood. So as a result there is a less amount of urine or less urine. So these are the stages how too low water causes less urine, saving the content of water inside the body, and too high water causes more urine, so producing more urine and regulating the amount of water in our body, which is called osmoregulation. The second regulation is of temperature, body temperature. So thermal means temperature. So body temperature regulation, which is called thermoregulation. So thermoregulation, our body temperature regulation, is controlled by a part of our brain which is called hypothalamus. So hypothalamus contains temperature sensitive receptors. So if temperature is too high or too low, then it gives signals to hypothalamus, and accordingly our brain show the response to bring the body temperature back to the normal level. So there is an optimum temperature. Optimum temperature is the temperature where the activity of the enzymes is maximum, which is 37 degrees Celsius. Below that temperature, the activity of the enzymes slows down, and above that temperature, the enzymes, they get denatured, and when they get denatured, so the activity will rate of activity will slow and stop finally when all the enzyme molecules will get denatured. So if it's below or above, that will cause a negative feedback, and the negative feedback will trigger hypothalamus, and hypothalamus will and the brain will then design a response. So what could be the response? If it's too hot, so the body will produce too much sweating, will undergo too much sweating glands will produce. So because the water takes too much energy, too much heat away from the body, so a loss of sweating will remove a big content of heat from your body, bringing the temperature down. The second response is going to be vasodilation. Vasodilation is the blood vessels near the skin are going to dilate, are going to widen, increasing the surface area, so more heat is going to escape from the body, and as a result the body temperature will come back to the normal level, and the hairs on the body will lie flat. So as a result the muscles are going to relax, and more heat is going to be released from your body. In case if it's too cold, then very little sweat. So because the water takes too much energy, so that's why little sweating or no sweating will conserve and preserve the energy inside the body. Second, vasoconstriction, the vessels will constrict. As a result, the surface area exposed to the outside environment will decrease, and less amount is going to be less amount of heat is going to escape into the surrounding. Third, shivering. So shivering will cause our muscles to move automatically, and as a result more glucose will produce more energy. So the muscles will produce more energy. The third is the blood glucose level. Blood glucose level is also another condition. If it's too high or too low, that can cause problem. When it's too high, that is called a condition which is called diabetes. So it is controlled by the two hormones, the blood glucose level is regulated by the two hormones, insulin and glucagon. Glucagon. Okay. Insulin is released by pancreas, and glucagon is also released by pancreas. So insulin decrease the level of blood glucose and glucagon increase the level of blood glucose. How insulin increase the level of decrease the level of glucose? By converting the glucose into glycogen. So glycogen is another form of carbohydrates. You can say the glucose is stored in this form. So that is the storage form of the glucose, and glucose is stored in form of glycogen in liver and in muscles. So from blood, glucose will convert into glycogen and will get stored into liver and into muscles, decreasing the level of blood glucose. So insulin will decrease the blood glucose level. So in case if the blood glucose level is too low, again our nervous system, our brain will detect by the receptors and will order the pancreas to release glucagon. So glucagon increase the glucose level by converting the glycogen inside the liver and inside the muscles back into glucose. And then when the glycogen will convert back or break down into glucose, then the glucose level inside the blood will increase. So this way the blood glucose level is maintained inside the body by the function of two hormones, insulin and glucagon. One decreases the level of glucose and another increases the level of glucose. Thank you.